Hello and welcome back to the 27th Veterans Park Open presented by Ideal Discs and Legacy Discs. We're coming to you from Arlington, Texas. BigSexy commentary, myself, Nate Sexton, and Jeremy Koling.
Yeah, we have a star-studded lineup here. Eagle McMahon in his awesome pants. We got Miles Seaborn, and we got Bradley Williams. We've got old school golfer Coda Hatfield, and the Texas's favorite son, Nolan Grider.
Yeah, and old school, even for old school, he's probably barely 30 years old. The guy is definitely got a lot of golf still ahead of him, but hasn't been really in the national eye lately. Hole 8, par 3, 395 feet, straight ahead, really, a little bit more open than a lot of the stuff we've seen on this course.
Yeah, it's a fairly open hole. You'd like to maybe pipe a low driver through this gap that you see Eagle going through, but that bushy tree in the middle makes it pretty difficult. Also, the wind has just been howling so far today. At 395 uphill, it's so difficult to get the distance. You'd like to maybe flex over the top, but the last thing you want to do is keep that disc high up in the air. Really brings a lot of variables in play and makes it difficult to judge any sort of consistent landing.
Yeah, and if you guys didn't tune in for part 1 of this round, we're trying our best not to sound like a broken record, but the wind is absolutely the deciding factor out here today. Looks to be gusting well over 20 miles an hour.
And you see Brad
these players are fighting it.
And Brad tries to go over the top, and you see the nose up cause it to go way left. And you saw Nolan keep it lower. He went a little bit off to the right side near the path. Stayed safe, though.
Miles looking really good, but catches the last guardian tree.
And that probably was going to come up a bit short anyways, but that tree certainly sealed the deal there. And you have Coda and is drifting right. Needs to catch a tree or kick, and it does not.
The wind just grabbed that, flipped over, never had a chance. Here is Coda from the out of bounds, going forehand, overstable.
Oh,
looks perfect.
Really nice shot there. Almost had a chance to go in. Brad's got a few things in the way. See if he can get around that last bit. He has not.
And I think he's going to have some distance left on that next putt.
More than he'd like, that's for sure. And
Miles throws that forehand with a face that just says, come on, wind, could you just stop?
Yeah, no kidding.
And Eagle...
And this appears...
Wow, puts a bid on it.
Wow, and I believe that was a mid-range. I mean, he put a lot of anhyzer on it, and that finished with a lot of hyzer. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe MD3.
Yeah, I think that was probably one of his signature MD3 glow MD3s. And Brad for his par. Oh, and that needs a sit. And it has.
Yeah, wow. So he did have some considerable distance left.
Yep. I mean, and uphill. That was quite a tricky putt there for par. Not going to be happy with the bogey, but that would have been a pretty remarkable save.
Bradley is in. Something I'm kind of a little bit concerned about. I'm going to say, a lot of wide straddles, a lot of big crushes, a lot of thorns.
Yep.
And I'm going to guess that those pants are not exactly what you would call a performance fabric.
I'm going to say sometime in the next 3 holes, something's going to happen with those pants. Like they're just going to, they have to split. Something has to give.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's, Eagle's a very powerful force. He's not easy on those pants. He's a flexible dude. He's taking some big lines. He's moving quick, so you never know.
No one's ever confused Eagle as being somebody that takes it easy on a pair of pants. Like that's not.
He's not one of those guys.
No.
Hole 9, par 3, downhill, 247. This one's moving a little bit to the left. It's got a little bit of a precarious green, though. Some slopes around the green. Just going to have to keep it underneath the wind as best you can. Try to come in here and take a little bit of a soft skip.
Yeah, you want to get that soft skip, like you said. You don't want anything that's moving hard left. You have a little bit of that slopey green there. The disc can get away from you really quick. And it looks like Eagle's going to line up a P2 here and try to keep this thing high and wide. And that's a little bit higher and a little bit wider than I think he'd like.
Yeah, he needs it to bite a little bit harder maybe. I think he will have sort of a layup from there. It's hard to tell exactly where it fell.
And it looks like Nolan is going with a little bit more of a sharper edge disc here.
See if this can slow down, and it can.
Oh, that's fortunate.
It's going to be a little bit of distance left, but maybe an opportunity if the wind happens to be down when he gets his chance to putt.
And I would be willing to venture a guess here that Miles is going with a Justice, something very overstable. And look at that thing crash through the ground. That thing landed
that's great.
On a vertical angle there. So something very overstable. And
Bradley's got a putter.
And
this is on a pretty nice line. Oh, look out.
Oh!
No way.
Oh my gosh.
Give me another look at that. That hit center.
If that is not the meltiest butter form, I mean, look at the guy. He's blowing the basket up, and he's just throwing it like as soft as a person can throw a disc.
If you could pick a chain link to hit, that's the one you would pick.
Well, I feel like, oh wow, and not Nolan, Coda actually backs it up with a really great shot there. But I mean, the problem is he hit too center. He had to miss it to make it somehow. You know, he'd have to miss it another couple inches over to the right to actually have it go in, which is so backwards.
That was as close as you'll ever see to an ace.
Not
Fantastic
ace.
shot.
Yeah, it's as close as you'll ever see to an ace, not ace.
Yep.
Oh, brutal. And
nice birdie.
Good putt there. And this is for par here. And look at that wind just ripping. I mean, there's not much leeway in Eagles' pants, and you still see the pants are still flapping. I mean, that's a telltale sign right there. You're dealing with some brutal conditions.
Yeah, if the skinny florals are flapping, you better get your overstable discs out.
I never thought I'd hear the word skinny florals together.
And Bradley, if you've ever been disappointed in a birdie, though, he probably has no idea just how sweet that shot was.
Yeah, he'll have to look back and check out the SloMez there. That was a heartbreaker.
Hole 10, par 3, 291, going back uphill. Big hyzer, perhaps an option, but it's a crush. And like we keep saying, once you get up above these trees, a lot of things can happen.
Yeah, you have these rattlesnake trees that like to snip at you, so you have to be careful. You don't want to get bit by one of these things, you know. And so they're going to be trying to throw maybe a stall hyzer, maybe overhand. Overhand's pretty tricky in the wind, so maybe not today. But that's kind of the play. Just didn't quite get over to the left, or to the left as much as he'd like.
Yeah.
And Coda getting off to the left there.
Oh, it looks like it got chopped down.
Yeah, not high enough. Brad looks like he's playing for the stall hyzer, but that thing got elevator music right up into the sky, dropped down.
Yeah, it did.
He's going to be out of position for the birdie. An Eagle with the Metal Flake Max, throwing it straight up in the sky and let it just drop right down. That's an awesome shot. And Nolan going low, but getting that lift, similar to Brad Williams, and has hyzered a little bit better. He's actually not too bad, about 29 feet.
Similar to where Miles landed. Coda laying one up. That's perfectly done.
Such a unique form. Not many people throw the disc just like he does. Wow.
Close. Good run from Brad.
And how great of a putt would this be?
Very. And wow.
So close.
Really close.
And if you're gonna miss, that's the miss. Dead center high in that band. Stay close to the basket. Oh,
man, another close one there.
Just sliding off. This would be a great birdie to pick up.
Tree tried to reach out and bite him.
And Eagle going to the knee again. second time in the round so far he's done that, and he's showing off that little blonde silver hair.
Yeah, a little tuft.
Yeah. Blilver.
That's a nice birdie. He's really putting together a good round.
Yeah. Off to a great start.
And Miles is in. Coda in for par.
And look at that eagle. 5 down, Joby approved.
Yeah.
3 down for Miles Seaborn. And Nolan, this is a course he's done really well at in the past. 5 back behind the pace now through 10 holes.
Gonna need to pick it up for sure.
It's actually way more than 10 holes. It's
12.
I'm confused by the numbering system.
And look at this hole. Hole 11, par 3, 300 feet out the gap to the elevated basket and the Texas Lone Star.
Texas loves their stars. And looks
They
like
definitely do.
Eagle's going with the overhand shot here.
This is a crush. I mean, this is probably a headwind.
Yep.
And he has got this up in the air.
And where is it? Oh,
And
there it is. And it's one of those rare backwards thumbers, which is an interesting play. You typically aren't trying to throw backwards.
Yeah, it seems like most course designers these days are putting in forward holes.
Yeah, the idea of most holes is you want to go forward, but somehow Eagle has chosen a different gap and has gone backwards. But look at this shot
That's
here.
right out at the tip of the star.
I'm guessing.
And
yeah.
I think this hole has got to be year in and year out a contender for windiest putt on the planet.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, it doesn't get much more open than what we have here. And if it wasn't windy, you have the elevated basket to contend with too. So this has got to be one of the gold star for hardest hole in the course to putt on.
And it's windy when you're like lining up your putt and the chains are like jingling in the wind.
No one's even putt yet and the basket's moving.
You can hear some chains. Yeah, I do not like that sound when the chains are just sitting there swinging around.
Right.
And just squares up that tree. He's going to have a tough upshot from there. This is one of those holes where it's so important to just be 5 feet
Wow.
away.
And
Wow.
that is going to be a tricky putt for par. And Brad's going to try to put this close.
He's going Nova. But
Oh, wow.
it almost looked like immediately out of his hand the Nova transformed into like a 50-gram bank frisbee and just flipped right over.
I have one of those bank frisbees. Those things are great.
Eagle's having none of it. Eagle goes Metal Flake Max jump putt.
That's so smart. That's learning from the player. And look at Eagle out there reading the wind with a towel. Oh my gosh!
Whoa.
And there's a
That
beach
almost
frisbee
went in
toss.
2 different times.
Wow. Oh my goodness. If Brad can stand up here, he might be able to. No par save there. And
Now, this is crazy wind.
and what a great birdie this would be, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
my
Got
goodness.
the tailwind and stuck it. Chains blown away.
Hits the gap off the tee, perfect. Makes the putt. Beautiful hole there. Miles Seaborn. Oh, man.
It is still not over here. This is a very tough shot. Nicely done.
What a
Brad
cool
will have
idea.
to settle for a bogey.
And just what a brilliant green. I mean, taking what was otherwise probably a pretty boring hole and making it very interesting. And the addition of the elevated basket here, just overall incredible stuff here.
Yep. Miles with a fantastic 2 to pull within 1 shot of Eagle.
A little separation now happened between Eagle and Miles and the rest of the card.
Hole 12, par 3, 557 feet over the dusty plains. It's going to be a tough shot here. These guys are just going to throw overstable, try to get as close as they can. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some mid-ranges and drivers jump putt it up to the basket just to keep that wind out of the equation.
557, just your normal par 3, just
for sure.
Just not even a tree possible to hit. So we're gonna see some guys just get up and rip some shots here and see how close you can get. If we can get within 50, 60 feet of the basket, that's like probably 75 there. That's a great shot there from Miles.
I'm going to venture a guess that the average driving distance on this card is 500 feet.
And Eagle did not help the average distance. What? Eagle, I said there's no trees in this hole. Do not bring trees into this hole. Okay, he's safe.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a throw or a roller. I'm going to go ahead and give it the Big Germ thrower approved.
Yeah, I think that's the second consecutive hole where Eagle has spent a considerable amount of time moving backwards.
Yeah, that's true. And he's got to remember, course designers these days are only designing forward-throwing holes. I feel like he's trying some different things, and I appreciate the creativity, but he's got to remember, you got to go forward.
Yeah, he's gonna be better served if he just keeps the disc moving forward.
And Brad has moved it forward considerable distance, but he's turned it over quite a bit. Nolan, not the longest thrower necessarily, usually gets his work done with really technical approaches and great putts. Shows off the distance he does have, though. Good flex.
Yeah.
But these are all going to be tricky approaches. I mean, you see those chains moving. And look at that. Eagle has dropped the hat, folks. Wanted to get a better...
Finally get a chance to see those locks.
That's right. And
that's that Metal Flake Max again, doing a lot of work today.
And it wanted to hyzer, but the wind just got a bit of the bottom edge of the disc and just stopped it in its tracks. Crazy.
This looks good. Great shot from Nolan.
That's how you do it.
And just look at the disc selection for these guys.
100 feet
You're
or so.
You're going to play a totally different game in this kind of conditions.
And that should be close enough for Brad to poke a little stab par putt in.
Yep. Nicely done.
And that...
Miles getting a little bit frisky there.
Yeah, that's going to leave a little bit of meat on the bone. He's going to have more distance than he'd like. And I'm not sure.
Eagle,
was
a little
that
bit
Eagle's
off for his
shot?
par. I believe that was Eagle. So this
but
could
Miles,
be a tie at the top of the leaderboard here.
Wow.
Eagle is in. Good putt. Nice par there as well. These guys who executed well on their upshot being rewarded here.
And those are quality threes there. I know it says par 3, but I don't know many people that can throw 557 in that kind of wind accurately.
No. Hole 13, par 3, 373. Still out in the open. Gonna have to go with some big overstable drivers here, I would think. Even though the distance might suggest fairway on another day, we're gonna see some wide rims here.
Yeah, I mean, just the one obstacle in the way is that Nightmare Before Christmas looking tree off to the right side of the fairway. It's kind of a great place because you have to make a decision. Am I going to go straight or am I going to go all the way around it? And obviously Miles is going all the way around it. And what a gnarly looking tree, right? Just beautiful.
Yeah, it's great.
And a
And
fantastic,
that's a fantastic shot. Wow.
Yeah, Jinx.
Yeah, man.
And Coda's such a great hyzer thrower here, and he has pulled that. That has gotten away from him. Clearly, he's throwing something very overstable, but wow, that has gotten so far away from him. He's going to have a lot of work to do.
It came out of his hand very flat.
Just as I was saying how good of a hyzer thrower he is.
Well, he didn't technically throw a hyzer there. It was flat out of the hand. So
that's fair.
That was his main problem.
And that is a great looking shot from Brad.
Look at the reaction on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't even really judge what it's going to do. You just have to put it up there somewhere in the vicinity and just hope that something cool happens.
Yeah.
And that is just not, that wind is not allowing a skip. Holy moly.
It's just a ripping tailwind, I think.
When have you ever seen ground play like that? I mean, wow. And I want to know if Eagle has thrown the hat away or if he's given it to a fan. That's my only question.
He wouldn't throw it away.
Okay, all right.
There's still a lot left to happen on this shot.
Oh,
with that
my
wind.
Goodness. I mean, he tried to throw probably a 250-foot dump hyzer, and he's ended up throwing it 350.
More. It's the whole 370.
I was trying to say 450, excuse me.
Yeah, okay.
And look at this shot. Wow.
Nice.
Incredible touch there from Coda. And Eagle is going to go
forehand max from 51 feet away.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
This is unique. And
that was like a shot you would use in like playing pig. Like he got to throw a forehand driver from here.
It's a shame there's not a flag on this basket so you could see. I mean, you can see the clothes ripping off Brad there. And wow, what a great birdie.
Yeah.
Right through that headwind. Keeps the disc level. Anything nose up, anything nose down, the disc does something very wild. I mean, and that's so frustrating. But you have to keep that disc.
Wow.
The front edge and the back edge has to be the same height to the ground. Yep. Otherwise you're going to get some crazy lift or drop.
Another way to say that is the disc has to be flat.
Yeah, but why would you say it that way?
I don't know. You could also say that the front, back, right, and left sides need to be equidistant from the ground.
Yeah, but why would you say it that way?
That's a good way to say it.
Okay.
Got some pars going into the basket here.
And some bogeys as well. Unfortunately. There was a bogey, correct? Yes, Nolan.
Nolan. And a great two from Brad. Great putt into the ripping headwind. Hole 14, par 3, 423 feet. Hard to know what direction the wind's going to be going this time. They've got to just deal with these trees right at the end. That's going to be tough because you got to get into the woods. You hit any of those guardian trees and you've got a unmakeable putt in today's conditions.
Yeah, the play typically is to try to throw something high over the top and just let it crash into those trees and drop. Or low and try to poke through the trees. And it looks like Brad is unhappy with that big right to left crosswind. He did not put the angle.
No, it did not.
He knew immediately that you cannot throw it straight at the basket flat because it will push so hard. You need to force something against the wind or throw something very understable. And Miles has gone to town or gone to school a little bit on Brad's line, but I didn't quite see where that landed, but it looks like he's going to have something within about 50 feet or so.
Yeah. If this is pushing long enough, it could be really good.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it's got a huge skip.
Very unfortunate bounce there. What an incredible ace that would have been had he been able to draw some metal there. That would have been a huge shot there. And Eagle's gone with the very overstable play, but zero ground play.
Hit a root or something. Really unlucky.
Wow. It looked like he drew that up perfectly and released it and executed everything he wanted to. Just got a bad break there on the ground play.
Nice by Nolan.
Oh, wow.
Comes to rest right there with a putt.
And he'll have a downhill right to left crosswind putt for a huge birdie.
Eagle lays that up. Oh man, well that might be good that it caught a little bit of that tree. Every foot is going to matter with this kind of wind.
Coda with a nice approach shot. Let's see if Nolan can get this big birdie here. Oh, no. Oh, it was in the basket and the wind did not allow it to stay. That is another heartbreaker.
Nice putt.
Showing off that tournament putting skill that Miles is so well known for. He just seems to show up in every putting contest. He is always a factor. And Brad with a really solid par putt.
Definitely. Was that Miles for birdie? I know we couldn't quite see where his drive had landed.
If that was for birdie, I didn't see where his drive landed. If that, it may have scooted all the way down because I don't remember him missing a putt.
Yeah, that may have been. We will know very soon.
Oh wow!
Yes, it was, and he takes the lead.
Wow. This is a typical Miles Seaborn round. I mean, the wind is when he really shows off what he's made of, making some really solid putts throughout the stretch here.
Hole 15, 206-foot par 3, probably the shortest hole yet of the round, but it's not going to be easy. They're going to have to deal with some big skips and some strange reactions, as we have seen all the way here. Just controlling the angles, it's a very, very difficult task.
And one of the very few low-ceiling technical shots on the course. And here I was about to say that we have a low-ceiling shot, and we'll see some nice low-ceiling throws, and there Miles Seaborn goes with the grenade. So, what do I know?
He's so good at that shot.
And look at this ground play there.
That's not...
Yeah, keeps the nose up. And
yeah. Coda with the low forehand as well. Gets away from him a little, and it's got a tree.
And Eagle is also going grenade. That's a shot that we see Eagle pull out pretty regularly, actually. It's pretty unorthodox for the majority of pro players, but very effective shot if you have it.
I certainly don't have it.
And that's the Nolan Grider play. No frills, no fuss, just right up the middle, low ceiling.
Coda's layup leaks just a bit long, but he should have a good opportunity to make par. Oh, wow.
Really? Very close to making another highlight putt. Eagle has such a great putt for the wind. And that wasn't the typical Eagle putt that usually is so good at fighting the wind. He is a very direct spin putt typically, and that time it seemed like he was a little bit scared of the headwind perhaps and took some off. And Brad showed him how to do it right there. That's a great 34, 35-foot putt there in the headwind.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a little piece of the chains, but not enough to stick. Coda for a nice par save after that drive got away. Well done. And Eagle in for par.
He definitely wins the Rockstar Award.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's no one that I've ever seen on a disc golf course look more like a rock star than Eagle does right now.
Yep, I agree.
If disc golf were rock and roll, he'd be the Rolling Stones, all of them.
Brad with another highlight, too, in the win. He's got a couple of those lately where he's the only guy on the card able to putt through it.
And he's right back in the mix now. We got 5, 4, and 3 under.
Hole 16. This is our last hole for the round because the tournament layout does start on 17. Par 3, 275 feet.
He's going to see probably some low stealing sidearms. I don't really, maybe Brad's going with is he going with a stall shot? Yeah, it looks like he's going stall over the top to have it just kind of drop down and fade there at the end. And
that's pretty solid. He may have a straddle from there.
Yeah, the high ceiling's kind of blocked by the tree that he hit there, so kind of surprised to see him not go with the play that we're going to see Miles go with here. Oh, wow. And Coda's had some issues with the forehand, so he ends up going overhand here and has gone long, but he may have a look at it.
Circle's edge?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Eagle liked what he saw there.
And he's pulling out all the stops this round. He's throwing throwlers, grenades, thumbers, backhands, sidearms. We've seen a little bit of it all from Eagle this round.
Definitely. And a backhand putter from Nolan. Needs it to flip.
And a very tricky little, for a short hole at 275, there's a lot going on to make this hole very challenging for these guys. As you can see.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, that's going to be a tough putt. Nicely done there. Eagle just going to lay it up.
Has nothing to do. Yeah. Wants no part of that action.
Oh, just off the cage for Coda. And this is likely to retain the lead.
Wow. And a great par save to finish the round. Nice shot of the dagger there. This is for birdie for Brad, for the only birdie on the card. And he is
Wow, and he does it again.
Yeah, takes the lone birdie for the third or fourth time in the round. He's going to finish at 4 under par. Yeah.
Oh, Nolan, another one just off the side of the chains. Eagle in for par. Eagle's not going to be happy with the finish to that round. He really got out to a hot start, but kind of coasted in a little bit too slow.
And Coda ever so gently taps it in, finishes the round. And a solid round from Miles and Eagle and Bradley with a great finish. Coda hung in there. Tough round for Nolan. Not what we expect from the Texas Sun.
Yeah, and as you might expect, those guys have the top 3 scores. We had a super group, and they showed us why. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you to Ideal Discs and Legacy Discs for their support of the event. Thank you to Jomez. Thank you to Germ. And we will see you guys for round 2 from the Veterans Park Open.
Well, thank you to Nate as well. Thanks for supporting the coverage, guys. Look forward to bringing you more action from the VPO.